Sometimes animals really just need us to help them out a little. But you know if you see one coming to you for help, they must really need it. Today, we're going to show you 20 times animals asked people for help. This elephant's child was helpless and trapped for hours until she found help. She wouldn't stop making as much noise as she could until others understood that she was trying to communicate something important. Animals usually try to avoid people, but we mostly see that in tough cases where there's nothing else to be done. Coming to humans is a last resort. Villagers were shocked to find a leopard fallen in a well 25 feet deep and trapped there. They tranquilized the big cat and tied it with a rope. Then a rescue worker went down the well and brought it up, after which it was taken to a nearby zoo. This kangaroo was involved in a fire in Australia, and its hands got burnt. Sometime later, a lady found it and helped soothe its burns by putting water on its hands and temporarily stopping the poor animal's pain. This dog just waltzed right into a veterinary clinic as it was clearly in a lot of pain. They discovered that the poor dog had a tumor in its leg. Then the vet treated him and operated to remove it, after which the dog went on to make a full recovery. It's really amazing how the dog knew exactly where to go for help. This little fawn had lost its mother, and then ran into this woman. When its mother didn't show up, she took it home and cared for the baby by herself. Just like many other animals, this duck also turned to people for help when her babies were in danger. The little ducklings had fallen down a drain, so she went about creating a ruckus, trying to get people to notice something was up. When people took notice of her distress, she led them to her babies. Then they went down and rescued them. Her rescuers even took the family home and let them back into the water where they really belong. Someone had tied this poor dog to a pole and left it there in the middle of a very cold winter afternoon. Thankfully, the dog's cries for help were heard quickly and help showed up. As soon as he saw people headed his way, he made even more noise. Fortunately, they were nice and untied him and took care of him, or else the poor animal would have frozen to death right there. This raccoon was really starved and didn't know where to go, so he just went to someone's door and politely asked for some food by clicking a rock against the window repeatedly to get their attention. Thankfully, the person whose house it was kind enough to give the animal some food.
She gets a rock and knocks on my door, and it's scratched all the way across here.
This hungry squirrel really just wanted some of the food that was put out for the birds, but it seriously underestimated its size and got itself stuck in the cage. The family who put up the cage then had to bring it down and call the authorities to find a way to get the squirrel out without hurting it. An officer arrived with some clippers and had to cut the cage open to rescue the unlucky squirrel. Watching the hook be taken out of this poor shark was so satisfying to watch. No animal should have to deal with such an injury. Later on, the shark was seen having made a speedy and total recovery. This guy was taking a hike and stopped to rest when this monkey saw a water bottle in the side pocket of his bag and tried to take it. The guy didn't understand at first and kept recording the monkey, but then when he saw that the monkey was really after the water bottle, he made things easier for the primate and took it out and gave it to the animal himself so it could drink. This leopard got its head stuck in a metal pot while drinking water a little too enthusiastically. Everyone was stumped over what to do for the longest time, but then they came up with a brilliant idea. They tranquilized it and then removed the pot before releasing it back into the forest. We're also trying to figure out just how the dog here got its body stuck in the grill fence. People gathered around the helpless animal to find a way to help it out. They had to after its cries for help. One guy slowly distorted its leg and got its body free from there. This poor bird got its head stuck in a man's feeder, so when he found it, he helped it out. This moose somehow found itself stuck under frozen ice. By some miracle, a couple of men were going home when they saw the animal and decided to rescue it. They were very dedicated to helping the moose and dug an 8-foot hole around the animal and soon got it out. What you're seeing is a 9-year-old giraffe who got herself stuck in a swimming pool. She starred in a TV show, Wild at Heart. Shortly before the cameras were rolling, she broke into the leopard's enclosure and decided to try out their pool. Sometimes things work out strangely well, like in this case, where this single mother fox happened to come across a woman who was willing to help her. The dad had left them, so the woman acted as a surrogate father. The fox would take the food she was offering and give it to her children, and come back for more. Motherhood really is a universal language. These birds were trapped together in a deer net. Soon after that, they were found by a man kind and patient enough to free each of them by cutting the net around them. This sloth was in the middle of the road. We'll probably never know why, but when you think about how slowly these guys move, this would have been really dangerous. It was only a matter of time before some passing vehicle would have killed it. This man picked it up and put it away in a tree. You can even see it smile and wave at the man later. It's really heartbreaking to see a sea creature so desperate that it's left with no other choice but to come to humans. This seal climbed a ladder and pulled itself aboard onto the boat these guys were on because it was quite hurt and really needed medical help. It really was the sea lion's lucky day. The boat was passing through at the exact time for it to notice the vehicle and go to it. Also that the people aboard were nice enough and took the time out to help it. Alright, comment down below and let us know if you've ever had an animal ask you for help. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Trend Joint, and hit that bell icon for more. See ya!